Morning students, I am Manu Sankla, your English teacher, and today we'll be studying a new poem, The Ant and the Cricket, written by Aesop's Fable. About Aesop. Aesop's Fable, or the Aesopica, is a collection of fables credited to Aesop, a slave and the storyteller believed to have lived in ancient Greece between 620 and 560 BCE. Aesop was a slave who lived in the 6th century BC in ancient. He was a very smart, resourceful Greece, an inventive man who took themes and ideas from the folklore heritage. To Aesop's fable were not written in his lifetime but passed on from mouth to mouth finally. A collection of 352 interesting and original works was published. Fable is a literary genre. A fable is a fictional story in prose and verse that features animals, mythical creatures, plants, inanimate objects, or forces of nature which are anthropomorphized and that literates or leads to an interpretation of a moral lesson which may at the end be added explicitly in a pithy maxim. About the poem. A silly young cricket, accustomed to sing through the warm sunny months of gay summer and spring, began to complain when he found that at home his cupboard was empty and winter was come. Not a crumb to be found on the snow-covered ground. Not a flower could he see, not a leaf of a tree. Oh, what will become, says the cricket, of me, at the last by starvation and famine made bold, all dripping with wet and all trembling with cold. Away he set off to a miserly end to see if he could keep him alive would grant him shelter from the rain and a mouthful of grain. He wished only to borrow, he would repay it tomorrow. Says the ant to the cricket, I am your servant and friend, but we ants never borrow, we ants never lend. But tell me, dear cricket, did you lay nothing by when the weather was warm? Quoth the cricket, not I. My heart was so light that I sang day and night. For all nature looked gay. You sang, sir, you say. Go then, says the ant, and dance the winter away. Thus ending, the hastily lifted the wicket, and out of the door turned the poor little cricket. Folks call this a fable, I'll warrant it true. Some crickets have 4 legs, some have true. Now, the summary of the poem. During the winter time, an ant was living off the grain that he had stored up for himself during the summer. The cricket came to the ant and asked him to share some of his grain. The ant said the cricket, and what were you doing so summer long, since you weren't gathering grain to eat? The cricket replied, because I was busy singing, I didn't have time for the harvest. The ant laughed at the cricket's reply and hid his heaps to grain deeper in the ground. Since you sang like a fool in the summer, said the ant, you better be prepared to dance the winter away. This fable depicts lazy, careless people who indulge in foolish pastimes and therefore lose out. Now let's look to the characters of the poem. The first one is the cricket. Represents people who do not think about their future. If you don't save for your future, you are destined to suffer. They love merrymaking and always look for enjoyment. The second character, ant, represents people who are wise and bold, who can face all types of situations. They are strong and mentally powered. They are never anxious as they have planned for their future. They live happily and comfortably. Thank you. This is for the poem.